had one tanky once argue to me that the Nazis were democratic and have as much significance to the clinical point. Money. What's opinion on a mandatory vaccine and the Hillians? I can't read that because of my glasses. Mandatory vaccines. I don't know. It seems a little bit like an overreach of the government's power to like mandate that everybody get vaccinated. Like if they're just within their own homes. But I do believe to some extent you have to mandate this kind of thing,
It should
especially with
probably
like
be
larger
more focused
businesses.
on
It
a
must be required
social
to be mandated,
way.
right? In the same way that like you mandate a flu vaccine, you should be able to mandate the COVID-19 vaccine. It's got an FDA approval, right? So it's already shown. If you don't know how FDA approval works, right? There's two different forms of FDA approval. There's like the rushed approval that the COVID-19 vaccines went through. And then there's the normal approval. So I'll start with the normal approval because it's much easier to explain. So basically, for it to get normally approved by the FDA, a drug has to have clinical trials done on it by what the FDA deems to be unbiased sources. And they have to be multiple different sources, peer-reviewed. It makes sure that the science beyond it is reputable, right? After it is shown to meet the clinical point, I forgot, there's a technical term for it, but I remember it as like clinical something. The clinical point, where it shows it has the desired effect of the drug and it outweighs the potential risks of the drug, it receives FDA approval. And then those potential risks are listed with the drug when it goes to market. The clinical point that you'd be trying to prove is like, for example, let's take like cancer. The objective of a cancer medicine would be to have it so the patient survives longer. And if we can prove medically that a patient will survive longer when given this treatment, and it has comparatively very little downside to using this treatment, it'll probably receive FDA approval. The second, and probably the more complicated version of FDA approval, is the one they do in what we would call life-threatening scenarios, where few other treatments are available. It is, I believe, rushed approval. It's rushed something. I'm gonna Google it right now, so I can get this right. Rushed FDA approval. What is it? It's named, it's a different FDA emergency approval, I think. Emergency approval. Right? Let me just go FDA. I'm just gonna go FDA approval process because that's where I found all the information from their website. And this is all publicly available if you look hard enough. People just don't want to read this shit. So, my loser ass decides to plop down and fucking read all of it. So, it's called... I'm trying to find it. How more information about how drugs are made and developed. Oh, I can't find it. I can't find it right now. That's really frustrating me. I want to have it so badly, the term for it, because it's actually kind of important if you want to look into it more. But you could probably go to the FDA's website and find the way. Accelerated approval. That's what it's called. So accelerated approval for something like a treatment would be, to call back to the cancer example. There's 2 points that we've been measuring this from, right? So there's the initial point that we would have to prove, which is the clinically significant change that would happen, which would be, what would you call it? It's like, for example, with the cancer or the cancer example, right? To show that the person would survive longer when given this treatment. However, whenever we have to rush a kind of treatment, we have to have some way of measuring this a little bit sooner. So you'd find a point which predicts that it will have effect on the longer term, which is called the surrogate point. That's what you're going to have to prove to get like the accelerated approval process going. What the surrogate point is it's something that will predict the outcomes of a certain thing or a certain treatment before you can actually see the real clinical long-term results. For example, let's go back to the cancer bit. Let's say somebody has cancer and you're trying out a new cancer treatment, right? You need accelerated approval because it's like a really important treatment to get out for whatever reason. what you would do is you could look for another thing that would likely have the result that you'd be looking for, which is the longer survival rate. For example, if you could find a treatment that actually lowered the or shrunk tumors, for example, that would be a surrogate point. And if you could prove that it shrunk tumors, you could reasonably infer from that clinically, or it would have clinical significance and make the patient live longer. However, while it has this accelerated approval, and once it does get the approval, you do have to continue testing. So testing is still continued, and if it's proven to be, what would you call it? If the newer testing proves that it actually does it, the surrogate point actually does not reflect the clinical one. For example, let's say like something causes the what we predicted what you predicted the surrogate point to be actually doesn't have as much significance to the clinical point, then it could be revoked. Or if it shows that it just doesn't have it at all, right? It doesn't have a long-term effect, or it has some other adverse side effect that could not be predicted, then the FDA approval will be retracted. However, you typically let it last long enough for any relevant predictable side effects to take place. So whenever we're talking about the vaccine, right, that has FDA approval, at least the Pfizer one does, and I believe Johnson & Johnson, does Johnson & Johnson have the FDA approval? I forgot. Approval, FDA approved vaccines, COVID-19. I believe 2 of them have it, if I'm not mistaken. It's the Jason vaccine, apparently. But as well as the other vaccine, which I'm not exactly sure. I couldn't tell you off the top of my head. Under they both have FDA approval. It is to the best of our ability to know that these would have these would be beneficial when implemented. So basically, what I'm saying is it's kind of denying all of science at that point. The entire idea of like peer review, of predicting outcomes in trials, you're kind of going against all of science and not just the FDA when you deny like the vaccine's effectiveness. And I don't really see a problem with mandating it for like larger businesses. I see absolutely zero issue with that. Creeper, are you there?
Yeah. I'm
You
just
kind of went
editing stuff on
silent
my
for a really
stream.
long time there. I was concerned.
No, I'm just editing stuff on my stream.
You're editing stuff?
Yeah,
You're not
it's
even
perfect.
playing
It's
Pirate
perfect to do it
101?
in the middle of it.
You're not even playing Pirate 101? That's cringe.
Well, no, I am. I'm still here. I'm just
Alright, someone sent
fixing stuff.
me... Why'd you send me this link?
What did I do?
Only gay communism. That's funny. So yeah. The FDA approval process, you can look into it. It's all on the FDA's website. You can probably look at some other sources for it as well. They're all out there. All this reading material is out there. It's not like I know something like significant. It's just kind of something you have to sit down and read. If you have the time to read it, I do recommend, because it's actually really interesting. But yeah. How would you solve this? Bunk, what is the Hastings on the border right now that have special protection? I'm not exactly sure on that issue. I've not really heard that much about it, to be honest, and I haven't done enough research to give like an informed take on it. I could like do some research probably like after the stream. I'll probably give it a comment on it like next stream. But like I don't know. I don't have. I try and read as much as I can like about political subjects, but like again, there's so much happening. Like you can't touch on every single topic in an informed manner. And that's what I try and do. But like I have time within my day. I have other shit to do except for rant about politics on the internet and call stupid people stupid. I actually do other things with my life, and I wish I didn't. Trust me, I wish the only thing I did was stream and like just call people stupid on the internet. That sounds fantastic. Don't you have hate? I don't know how to pronounce that. Had a bad earthquake that destroyed the country, so people are fleeing. Hold up, I'm gonna look into this. I'm actually gonna look into this right now. I'm playing Pirate 101. I'm multitasking. I'm playing Pirate 101 and researching politics. This is the optimal way to do this. All research should be conducted while playing Pirate 101. That's the secret to having good political takes. Trust me. Trust, alright? What is going on in here? You can't see my browser, and that's on purpose, but I am researching it right now.
I'm just busy trying to something happened to my stream and I'm trying to fix it.
What is this? Hold up. Yeah, this seems like a more complicated story than I can give like a take on right now. Huh. That's interesting. Yeah, I'll have to look into that more. Seems like, again, it seems more complicated than I could give you like a simple answer off the top of my head on. You know what I mean? I have not played through this entire game in a while, so this is gonna be fun. I love this game, and I love just how much of it's just like, it comes off as both like really racist and stereotypy and like a bunch of pop culture references, and I love it. It's so good. I love Pirate 101 for that. So Creeper, you said you want to talk about gender roles on the stream today?
Yeah.
Yeah. So what about gender roles?
They're cringe.
They are cringe. I think everyone agrees that they're cringe. All right. Look.
Yeah, something just hit a nerve recently.